Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel and podcast, Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host, Justin P., and my MVP co host, Miss Shannon Finch. This is episode 56 for the YouTube channel. All the links to the audio version are right there in the got another good show lined up for you. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, Father's Day weekend and all that stuff like that. So, yeah, we back at it today. All right. So, the first topic of today's show Emmanuel Acho, one of the hosts of the Speak TV talk show on FS1, said that Lamar Jackson is the only QB that can dethrone Patrick Mahomes. Give me your thoughts on that, Shannon.
First, I do want to say Happy Father's Day as well. Happy Father's Day to all the guys out there. My thoughts is I heard his argument and I agree with him. He was basically just talking about based on what Lamar has already accomplished, and if Lamar accomplishes this season, he could be one that could dethrone Mahomes. Me and you have already discussed Lamar and the possibility of him exceeding his MVP season. That's a possibility. Like based on the new offense, based on the new players that we have, that's a possibility. So imagine if he does win another MVP, or if he doesn't do that, but wins a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP, that does kind of put him in a discussion with Pitt. Now, to me, I always like to say is levels to this. So I won't say that it'll make him better than Pat Mahomes. But I definitely do think that it will move Lamar up a notch if he was to win a Super Bowl or something like that this season. Because, like I said, after Pat, and when you look at the young guys, right, and you look at what Pat has accomplished, and then you think about everybody after that, who has accomplished anything nearly close to it? Lamar is an MVP. Some guys have went to the Super Bowl, but they've lost. You don't get a participation award for that. So, yeah, I completely agree with what Like I said, when he explained it, I agree with him.
Yeah, I agree because it makes sense. Like I said, falls like you said, the young quarterbacks that's under 30. Rodgers, he's out this discussion because his career is basically solidified
Hmm.
regardless of what
Right.
happens. Whether the Jets go 4-13 or 13-4 and win a Super Bowl or miss the playoffs, Rodgers is going to Hall of Fame first ballot. So
Hmm.
either way, his career solidified. The rest of the young guys are still climbing up. Like you said, Mahomes, two-time MVP, two-time Super Bowl MVP. Only person that has like I said, a close resume to that is Lamar, league MVP. And unanimous at that. Only been done twice in 100 years of
Hmm.
football. So if he's to go win a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl MVP, that he's definitely like climbing that ladder. Like of course Mahomes will still be the top guy because of the body of
Hmm.
work, but Lamar will be like, it won't be instead of Lamar probably being 2 or 3 spots behind him, he'll be like one literally right there breathing down his neck. Because
Hmm.
like I said, they the only two quarterbacks under the age of 30 to win the league and won the league MVP in the last 5 years. So yeah, and then like you said, with the new offense, the Todd Monken's bringing in, it's going to be more quarterback friendly. They're going to be throwing the ball more. The receivers we brought in, like I said, Odell, Jose, and they even said Nelson Aguilar is looking good, so that's a good
Hmm.
sign. And who's to say Dr. Carson might say, you know what? Shit, nobody picked up DeAndre Hopkins. Let me try my luck and see what happens.
Hmm.
You know, teams are never trying to not get better. So if everything falls into our favor, Lamar definitely has a good shot winning his second MVP, being a Super Bowl MVP. That, like I said, that'll just jump him like right next to Mahomes, with this not in front of him. Because, like I said, Pat,
Hmm.
every time he steps on the field, he has a chance to win, like literally. Like the
Right.
Chiefs really could have been in 5 straight Super Bowls when you go back and think about it. The D4 jumping all sides. Uh, they were up big against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. They came back because he missed
Hmm.
Tyreek Hill wide open. They literally could have been in 5 Super Bowls straight. Where they won all of them? Probably not. But it's just the fact that it's you only have a quarterback that you can see do that is Tom Brady. So Mahomes is really that good. So yeah, if Lamar can pull through and like I said, win an MVP and get us a Super Bowl, he definitely can be that guy to somewhat push him to the side, but not completely dethrone him.
Right.
Mike in the chat, what's up, Mike? What's up, Mike? Y'all had OTR Mike on last week, man. Good episode. Go check that out. Go subscribe to his channel. Open Mike and Rain King podcast. Let me see what else we got in here. The usual suspects got Hindu in here, Roll Park. Go subscribe to his channel. Got a lot of good things going on. Him and Brodney. I think they record like on Sunday nights. So y'all go check them out. All right, I'm about to scroll up to the second topic real fast. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. Excuse me. Will this contract situation with JK Dobbins get resolved?
Resolving for the season, I don't think so.
Just whenever. Just whenever. Season, off season. Just whenever.
Well, it's hard to say. Because I like we talked about a couple of weeks ago with him and Duvernay, I believe it was. This is like a well, not Duvernay. We were talking about
Patrick
Patrick
Quinn.
Queen. Patrick Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it depends on what happens this season. You know what I mean? Like I don't. But we talked about whether they would use the franchise tag on him next off season. I don't think they would. But if he has like a stellar season this season, like out of this world, something like a Jamal Lewis type of season, like that's something that I can see them saying, "Wait, I'm gonna use the franchise tag." So I do think that it will depend on how he performs this season. When you hear them talk about the offense and the type of offense they want to run, it does concern me about the run game because I don't want them to totally get away from it.
Right.
One of the best ways to be successful in the league is to have a balanced offense. And I don't want them to get too cute just based on having a new offensive coordinator, having new weapons, and feeling like Lamar has something to prove in the passing department. Doesn't mean that he doesn't, doesn't mean that he can't, but just don't get away from running the ball. So it's tough to say if it will get resolved or when it will get resolved because I do think this season is going to determine a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Same here. And it's going to kind of suck. I think they do want to keep him. It's just going to come down to what he think he's worth with versus what the organization feels though he's worth. 'Cause look around, like those running backs are just not getting the big bag. The last
Mm-hmm.
one to get a somewhat decent contract was Derrick Henry. Tennessee was talking about shopping him, for a second, but I guess they had to change of heart. McCaffrey got paid, Zeke got paid. They were the last ones who got paid, and then McCaffrey got traded. Zeke is still a free agent. He's probably gonna sign, I guess. I guess at the camp. Because a lot of guys they want to avoid training camps as much as they can to save their body.
Definitely. Yeah.
So but if JK was to have a season like Jamal Lewis, that'd be crazy. I think they will sign him right after the year because that means he would have like over 1,800 yards, and it's gonna be hard for him to kind of have those numbers, not unless he just get
Mm-hmm.
big runs every time he touch the ball, which is gonna be kind of hard because
Mm-hmm.
his carries might not be as lot like we just stated. Todd Monken says he's gonna throw the ball, so he said it in today's NFL, you gotta be able to push the ball down the field. He said
Mm-hmm.
he'll still use the running backs. He'll still throw it to him. He'll still run the ball. But it may be like a 60-40 balance. So if it's a 60-40 balance, then you got Gus back there. So JK may be looking at 10 carries at the most versus 20 to 25. And I'm with you, Shannon. I hope they do still run the football. Because you can't just completely just be one dimensional. Because we've seen in the playoffs when teams don't be balanced. They lose big games. We've seen it with the Bengals. We've seen it with the
Mm-hmm.
49ers. We've seen it with the Chiefs the year they lost to the Bucks. They couldn't run the
Mm-hmm.
ball. We just seen it with a lot of teams. You have to be balanced. Because especially in bad weather, you can't be throwing the ball around out there and it's snowing and windy. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta be able to run the football. That's why Buffalo got beat up by Cincinnati in the playoffs because they couldn't run the ball. Cincinnati
That's
ran
true.
the ball on them, then mixed it up with a couple passes. Buffalo could not run the ball. They kept trying to go to Diggs and Davis, and Cincinnati was like, man, the weather playing into our favor. So we know y'all can't just fling the ball like that because the wind is going to take it somewhere. So
Mm-hmm.
we definitely still got to run the ball. If we come out and have a little bit more balance, like I hope, yeah, he could have a pretty good season. 1,300 yards. I want to say at least double-digit touchdowns. That's like 75 yards again. I think JK can do that because I
I
think
do.
Todd.
I did. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I do think it's unfortunate how devalued running back seems to be. That's nothing new. We've been saying that for years. When you have guys like even with Zeke, it took a while for the Cowboys to pay him what he wanted. Like it wasn't like they just came out the gate and paid him.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry is a beast. Like he's a game changer. We don't even need to talk about why he got, like, why he got paid, right? Like he was the Titans offense. And with McCaffrey, I mean, he was a beast too, but he kept getting hurt, right? So Adrian Peterson was another one that got a big bag. I remember he got a real big bag as well. But it's just like I can have running back by committee and pay less than what it may cost me to have a number one or dominant running back. Like I've read a report today that Saquon Barkley wants 14 million a year, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about it, that's a lot of money for a running back. But then, like I said, it's unfortunate that we even have to say that about a running back. You know what I mean? Like because if a wide receiver can get XYZ, and it's like in football, it's kind of like what positions are going to get demand the big bag: a quarterback, a left tackle, a pass rusher, and a cornerback.
A corner that can take it. Yeah.
Yeah, and a wide receiver, right? A wide
Mm-hmm.
receiver can demand a big bag. Every other position after that is like get in where you fit in. You'll get a decent amount, you'll get something respectable, but it's not going to be like these other five positions and what we can pay them. Because when you have a quarterback, a left tackle, a pass rusher, a cornerback, and a wide receiver, you have something going on in your team. Like
They
that's another
all, they
people's
all,
success.
they all, and all those positions you just named, they all predicated to passing offense and defense.
Yeah, right. So it's unfortunate, and I hope that it can get worked out, but I just don't know. I just don't know. I mean, because like I said, you can bring another guy in here, pay him less money, and still get the same type of success. And the last point I want to make is having a quarterback like Lamar can either be a good thing or a bad thing for a running back because you don't when he puts the ball in your stomach, you don't know if he's gonna keep it, or if he's gonna keep it. Like that's on Lamar to do that in that moment and what he's feeling and what he's saying so that can't always be easy as well because we see a lot of the times they drop the ball. It can be miscommunication, not just Lamar, anybody that's running an offense like that. But it can also be dominant, like we saw with the MVP season. You know what I mean? So I hope it works out because I feel like as Ravens fans, we haven't really got to see the best of Dobbins, which is why I feel like this season is going to be so telling. And I hope that he can be professional and put the contract stuff, to the side of him and do what he got to do this season. Get through the season and be healthy and show them why you should get the bag. Like get what you feel like you deserve. It's always going to be, but how much? When I saw that $14 million that Barkley wanted, I was like, So I hope he can stay, but I don't know. Just don't know.
I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna start the next tab. I think the Ravens will be comfortable around like 9 to 10 million a year for JK. I think anything over that is like, oh Lord, we might gotta go ahead and let you walk or trade you. But
Right.
hopefully, like I said, hopefully they get that resolved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Next topic. Breaking down the Ravens inside linebacker room. Just give
Mm-hmm.
me your thoughts on the guys we have in that position right now. What do you think they can contribute to the team this season?
Well, I've been on the Patrick Queen bandwagon. I want him to stay. I wish it was a way that he could get paid right now, but we know that can't happen this off season at least anyway. I think that having Roquan helped him out tremendously. Like some guys, you can't put it all on their plate, and that doesn't make them less of because you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we got to see the best of him last year when he wasn't asked to do as much. Like I feel like he was more free and was just, doing his thing. And when you got a guy like that to the side of you, um, only good things can happen. With Roquan, like I said, we've been talking about this since he came. His impact was undeniable. His
Mm-hmm.
impact was undeniable, man. Like I said, certain people you don't even have to say anything about. It was just undeniable. Who else do we have? Malik Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like after he got shot, things were a little different for him. I did have high hopes for him, but I don't know. It just seemed like things changed with him after that incident, unfortunately. Doesn't mean he still can't contribute. I just like the duo of Patrick Queen and Roquan. Um, and then we just drafted one this year, Simpson. I love everything about adding him to the pot. You know what I mean? Like if somebody needs a break, look, you never know. You get a little, a little tweak and got to come out real quick. I think that he could come in and do a good job. Again, he's going to probably help us on special teams, particularly this season. And again, as we discussed with him, he's more of a pick for the future because if it doesn't work out with Patrick Queen, then we know that we have um, hopefully a suitable replacement. Who else do we have? That's about it.
Josh Ross, kid from Michigan.
Mm, I don't have much of an opinion about him. Like, can't say anything good or bad. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like the core that we have that we expect to be out there, I'm happy with them. And like I said, the people under them can only get better by learning and watching and seeing how they go about their day to day business. So yeah, I like our linebacker room, inside linebacker room.
Oh yeah, for me, same. Like I said, Roquan Smith, man. Second half of the year he played amazing. So now you get a whole year in this defense. You get you get to fill out everything. Now he's gonna wear the green dot. So now I expect an even better year because now he's comfortable.
Hmm.
Now he knows everything, far as the players, and he got a vibe for everything. Like he did that playing, like I said, on the fly. He got traded on a Monday and had to play the practice Wednesday and play on a Sunday. Now
Hmm.
had a full off season to embrace the Ravens culture and get used to the facility. So like I said, Roquan going barring injury, he's gonna have 150 tackles plus. And like
Hmm.
you said, Patrick Queen, I want him to stay too, but it's like I said, it's gonna come down to dollars and cents. If he wants to stay here and he wants to take a hometown discount like how Bowers and those guys did, that's up to him. Or if his
Hmm.
agent like, look, man, I know you want to stay with the Ravens, but hey, the Texans, the Lions, the Bears, they want to offer you blah blah blah. So it all
Right.
depends what Patrick Queen wants. But
Hmm.
definitely those two play good together. In my opinion, one of the best inside linebacker combos in the league because you still got Devin White and Levante David, those guys when they healthy. So
Hmm.
definitely them two, like they play off each other so well. And like that Pittsburgh game showed it, man. Both of them had an interception, game changing plays. Both of them were making plays in the run game and pass game. So yeah, so hopefully we can keep that combo together for the next couple years. Then
Hmm.
Trenton Simpson he's gonna be a utility player for us. He's gonna play some inside backer, he's gonna play some outside linebacker. He's gonna play some nickel for us. He's gonna be all over the place. He's gonna come
Hmm.
and blitz for us. He's gonna definitely play special teams. So he basically said any way he can get in this year, he's willing to do it. He said he don't care if he got to play gunner. He said he just want to play football. Like you said, Malik Harrison, I like him a lot. Like I said, him getting shot kind of hurt his development a little bit because he was big against the Titans in that playoff game. If you remember,
Hmm.
he stuffed Derrick Henry every time he touched the ball. He was a big reason why Derrick Henry didn't go off against us for a second time in a row. Because you got a linebacker that's just as big as him. He's 6'4", 250. Him and Derrick Henry the same size, so Derrick Henry can't
Hmm.
bully him. So that's why I was so glad when they picked him up. But I think he's still gonna play a role. Like I say, definitely gonna still play special teams. And I think he definitely said he's gonna play more snaps. He said he's gonna come to camp, he's gonna bust his ass, and he loved the competition, man. He said he's just gonna keep working. Josh Ross, he knows the defense, and he played pretty well in the preseason last year before he got hurt. He was making a little bit of noise, so he knows Mike McDowell's game from his time in Michigan. So I could see him definitely trying to compete for some playing time. And then Christian Welch, he's a special teams ace, so and he played pretty good defense when he was asked upon. So it's gonna be interesting, man. So we got 5 solid linebackers. We might keep 4 for the most part. But it's definitely gonna be interesting to see those battles for those two backup spots because we know Queen and Roquan are 2 starters, so the 2 guys that fighting for those 2 backup spots is gonna be real interesting.
Yeah.
All right, here's our next topic. How good do you think the corner tandem of Marlon Humphrey and Rocky Sin will be the season.
If they remain healthy, I think they could be good. We talked about our secondary in comparison to the division secondary a couple of weeks ago, and like I said, that's always been our issue with our defensive backs is health. Marlon is Marlon. Like I think he had an outstanding year last year. I think Marlon doesn't get enough respect around the league when it comes to mentioning top cornerbacks in the league. We hold them at a high regard, but when I see different lists, if he is on the list, he's usually at the bottom. I seen one
Yeah.
recently; he wasn't even listed at all, and I was just like, "This is trash." So yeah, as long as they're healthy, I don't see why they wouldn't do well. I don't know enough about Rocky Sin. I don't see that he's going to hurt anything. You know what I mean? Like I read, I read up on him. I researched him and saw different things, and everything that I read about him was good. So he can only be a plus to our defense and our secondary. And again, is that's all I can say. As long as they stay healthy, they will be great. Yeah, I do. I think they'll be good.
I think they'd be a wonderful tandem because, like you said, Marlon Humphrey, he had a down year 2021 because everybody got hurt, so he had to go
Hmm.
up there and cover everybody. So he gave up some plays, then he got hurt himself, but then he bounced
Hmm.
back, gave up no touchdowns. He gave up a couple of bull crap catches. It's going to happen. It's the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Playing corner is hard because in the day you can't touch guys and you going backwards while somebody else is going forward. That's
Forward.
like
Right.
I tell people trying to race somebody running backwards and they running forward, and
Hmm.
you let me know how the outcome go. It's hard as hell, man. So you basically playing off instincts and anticipation, and he didn't give up no touchdown catches. Like you said, them lists I saw, he all top at 10 or 9. Marlon Humphrey top 5 corner. I call it bias, call it what you want. I can give a shit at all. Like
Hmm.
I said, it's just because he's not. I told everybody he's not. You know the shame. He's not going to get. He's not going to be that guy like Diggs getting 12 picks. That's not
Right.
going to be his game. He might get 4 to 5 at the most in the season. That's the most we might get about him. But he's not going to give up 1,500 yards receiving like how Diggs did. So that's the trade off. You got 12 picks, but then you gave up damn near 2,000 yards receiving. So it was like I'd rather you go ahead and lock the guy down and catch half of those interceptions and and just cover the guy because those yards came at a crucial time when the Cowboys needed him to get a stop. So
Hmm.
definitely Marlon is definitely a top 5 corner. Rocky Sin is a pretty good corner. Like he's another one. He's not going to get double digit interceptions. He'll give out 2 or 3, but he comes up and tackles. And he definitely don't got no problem breaking on the ball. Like his anticipation is great. Like Marcus Peters was a liability at times because, like I said, him coming off the injury, whereas though he didn't want to come up and tackle and stuff like that. See, people kept constantly attacking him. I went to a lot of games. You went to a few games, so you saw it, man. He was definitely targeted a lot.
Hmm.
Whereas the Rocky Sin, you target him a lot, he gonna make you pay for it by even picking the ball off or just breaking it up. So I
Hmm.
think them two, like I said, barring injuries, knock on wood, they're gonna have a pretty good season this year.
And it's like, do you realize how hard it is to stop a team from scoring in the NFL? So to go a whole season and not give up a touchdown, it's like it's amazing. You know what I mean? And
That's
as far as the interceptions, I don't really care about. I guess for me, having Ed Reed kind of spoiled me in a sense of like I don't even be looking at cornerbacks to get interceptions like that. I'm more or less like break up the pass or prevent a touchdown, right? Now we know that Marlon Humphrey likes to punch. He'll punch the ball out. He can create a fumble. He could do that. You know what I mean? But I would prefer him to stop a touchdown because the points is what wins and loses games. And yeah, like give me that all day over interception. Because you can
yeah,
intercept the ball, and your team don't do your offense don't do nothing with it. You know what I mean? Stop the touchdown.
absolutely. I'm gonna say this and then we'll move on to the next top. The best
Hmm.
corners of football to me last year was Sauce Gardner, Patrick Surtain, Marlon Humphrey, and Jair Alexander. They were my top corners last year. It's just, that's just
I
me.
agree. I agree.
All right, our next topic. How good do you think the safety tandem of Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton will be this season?
I think they're going to be great. Again, everything is always based on health, right? So I think Marcus Williams got hurt like week 5 last year.
week 5, week 6,
And
something around that time.
but like when the first quarter of football, we saw his impact, right? And we just talked about interceptions. He was getting interceptions and things like that. Then he came back like towards the end of November, I believe. And we also got to see the maturation of Kyle Hamilton, right? So we can get a full season of them together, or at least majority of the games, because we know things happen. Sometimes you guys sit out a game or two. That's fine. We just hope for nothing serious that'll keep you off for weeks on end or keep you off for the season. If
Hmm.
those two guys can maintain being healthy, I think the sky's the limit for again our secondary. We were already talking about how we felt like they fared against the division. Health is the biggest thing back there because for whatever reason we've always had like a black cat running around our DB room. But like we talked about, what second year player do you think is going to have a big impact next year, this season? I said Kyle Hamilton is my choice because we saw as the weeks went on why the Ravens drafted him, right? Then you have Marcus Williams, who's he's a vet, he's been around, but he's still young and he's impactful as well. And when you put that together, what can go wrong? You know, everything can go right when they're out there and doing their thing like they're supposed to. And a matter of fact, like you mentioned with Roquan winning a dot, I like him winning a dot more than somebody in the secondary. Not to say that a guy in the secondary can't direct the defense in any sort of way, but I just feel like the person in the middle has a. I can say it to you and say it to you, and I don't have to like hurry up and get back. You know, I can say it out loud for everybody to hear in a way. I just love everything about our defense right now. Like I said, pass rush might still be a concern. We talked about that a few weeks ago. The DBs, the cornerbacks, the safeties. I'm excited to see what they can do. Honestly, like I said, health will be the biggest thing with them.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree, Shan. Now Kyle Hamilton now then grown up. He done now figured the league out. First couple games, he was a little lost in the sauce. That's expected, young kid
Rookie, yeah.
coming into the league. Yeah, but like I said, as the year went on, he started making big plays, strip sacks, fumbles. He even had an interception that got called back against the Saints. Like he started getting into his right spot,
Mhm.
knocking passes down. He started taking tight ends out the game. Like when we played the Bengals, like he locked Hayden Hurst down both times he played him. He was a non-factor. So
Mhm.
even when he had to go up there and guard T. Higgins from time to time, they both the same size. So it was like drafting a safety that big, it played into our favor. It basically is like same thing like when Seattle drafted Cam. Although he definitely has ways to go before we put him in that caliber. But
Yeah. Yeah.
just not from a body and size aspect.
Mhm.
That big safety back there. Now Tane's gonna think twice before just launching the ball because now they know he can just jump up and get it and just take it. So and then like you said, Marcus Williams was playing phenomenal football. Had he not missed those games, he definitely would have led the league in picks. I think he had like 6 before, if I'm not mistaken, and
See a
missed
lot.
4 games. Yeah,
Yeah.
one game he had 2, damn near 3 against the Dolphins.
Mhm.
So he definitely is a ball magnet. He had his best season ever with us, like and he had some pretty good years with the Saints. So now hit them two back there for a whole entire year. Like I said, if this pass rush can just do what they do and make the quarterback got to get rid of the ball a second or two less.
Mhm.
I can definitely see us leading the league in interceptions. I really do. So I
And you
definitely.
you know how they say they usually say like rookies hit a wall, a rookie wall. I
Mhm.
feel like Kyle Hamilton, he didn't hit a wall. He was going up like all season. Like you said, he started off rough, then he just went up. It never was a wall to me. So it can only get better for him.
Oh, no doubt. And like I said, he know the scheme more.
Hmm.
He's in the film room. Him and Ed Reed talk a lot. So yeah, he definitely gonna be ready to roll. That's why they told Chuck Clark, man. I mean, deuces, we holler at you.
Hmm.
We no longer need your services.
Hmm.
All right, here's our last topic for tonight, and then we'll be done until Thursday. All right, what are your realistic expectations for tight end Charlie Kolar this season now that he is fully healthy?
Mm, tough to say. Tough to say today, right? Because obviously we have Mandrews, so we know who's number one. Um, what was the other guy's name that came in late? Likely, right?
Isaiah Likely.
Likely. I loved what I saw from him. Like we started saying touchdown likely. when he was out there because he was doing things that was like, oh, see why you drafted him. Um, Maybe he could fill the role of who did we just get rid of that's been here for a while?
Uh,
Trying to turn into a punter.
oh,
Who
Nick
was
Boyle. Nick Boyle.
if he can be more of a blocking tight end, like I can see him being useful there. But I don't want to throw a tight end out there that's if it's going to take away from, like I said, I like Likely. You know what I mean? I don't want to take away from his development. And of course, like I said, we have Mandrew. So I don't really know what my realistic expectations are for him right now because I really don't know where he fits. Besides saying, hopefully he could block. If you could be a good blocker, you'll have a spot, out there. Outside of that, I don't want him taken away from them in the passing game, barring him coming in on a rotational situation because somebody hurt something, tweak something, and you got to go in the game. But I don't really know what my expectations are for him right now.
Me, I think he's gonna have a solid year. I'm tell you why. Todd Monken uses tight ends too. He
Hmm.
might not do it as much as Greg Roman, but look at Georgia. The tight ends were the best player on the teams. So he ran
Mm.
a lot of two tight end sets, three tight end sets, and still had two receivers as well. But I
Okay.
think I think Kolar is going to be flexed out more in the red zone. Because that's what we struggled at the most. Now you
Hmm.
flex him out. He's 6'7". He's the same height as Tall Heap. Now Lamar got somebody that can just throw it up to, and he can just snag it. And he also can block inline as well. But he's going to be that short. He's going to be that short yardage goal line red zone threat. I could see him about 40 catches, which ain't nothing but two and a half catches a game. He can get that. But
Hmm.
400 something yards, about 4 touchdowns. That is nothing. And a
Yeah.
17-game season, that's nothing. So I think he can do that easily because that's what Hayden Hurst had when he was here. So I think he'll fill that Hayden Hurst / Nick Boyle role. I mean, he'll catch a couple touchdowns in the red zone because by them down
Hmm.
there, they're going to double mark Andrews. They're going to spy on the Moss. I think Kolar can creep out and get a couple touchdowns. So, he showed me a little something in that week 18 game against the Bengals. So like I said, Todd Monken, he going to utilize all his toys. So I think he could have a pretty decent season for a number 3 tight end.
It should be fun. I'm ready to see. Like I said, I've never been this excited for offense, so I'm ready to see. I want to see all of it.
Yeah, I mean, you last time I was excited for offense like this when we had got Anquan Bolton and Dante Starworth and all those guys. You know,
Hmm.
yeah. So that was the last time I was like, yeah, we got got some receivers now for Joe. Yeah, that was
Hmm.
2010. Yeah. All right, Shannon. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
No. The next time we do talk, we'll probably talk about training camp because I did see a lot of things that was said about what was going on there on those days. Um, but I'm just excited to be back. I missed you guys.
But yeah, we missed you too. So yeah, we'll be back Thursday same time. Shannon going conduct the show. She always have amazing topics. So I'm looking forward to it. She'll probably send them to me sometime today or tomorrow. But
Hmm.
yeah, love you guys. Make sure y'all trade. Talk Ravens all day, every day from your host, Justin P. and my MVP co-host, Miss Shannon Finch. Subscribe to the show. I mean, share it. Follow us on, Twitter, IG. You see Shannon's handle right there. My handle was right there. So love you guys. Have an amazing Tuesday. And we will see y'all guys Thursday evening. We out.
Bye, Justin.